of Barefoot shoes. And for the past month and a half, I have only worn these shoes. Like I'm using the full range of motion of my foot, and my feet really hurt. I have to work while I'm actually using the muscles. I can feel that I'm using my calves a lot more. I'm doing a really short one today. I'm moving, like I feel springier, which means that I naturally am moving faster. I can feel every single rock. I don't know if you can see, but I feel like my toes have gotten wider. I'm worried about my knee and I need to build it back up slowly. Now I'm sure you're wondering, what even are barefoot shoes? The human foot is really quite amazing when you think about it. It's comprised of 26 bones, 33 articulations, each with 6 degrees of freedom of motion, 20 plus muscles with 10 of them being just in the arch alone. We've used our feet daily for thousands of years, and for most of that time without any type of fancy form-fitting footwear. Most of the time our ancestors were either barefoot or they were moving around in a primitive form of footwear like sandals. We as human beings used to spend significantly more time outdoors barefoot, and in turn we learnt proper technique for running, walking and jumping based on the biomechanical feedback we received whenever we did something wrong. As we, alongside the footwear industry, have evolved and shoes have grown more and more cushioned, we've stopped receiving this information from our bodies and in turn have taught ourselves to run with poor technique. Barefoot shoes are the answer to this problem. By wearing a low-profile, flexible shoe, we get all the comfort of having protection on our feet for sharp objects and dangerous terrain without losing the important feedback that our body so heavily relies on. And so after learning all that, I decided it was time to try them. So I decided that for one whole month, I was only going to wear barefoot shoes. But let me take you back 2 months to when I first bought them. Hello. Thank you. I had no idea what I was doing, but the first time that I tried them on, I suddenly felt like I could feel every single little detail on the ground through my shoes, and immediately my entire calf and leg was totally engaged. I felt like I was using my entire body to walk, instead of relying on the cushioning that I had in my shoes. Don't worry about me being on the floor. I just wore these shoes for the first time for the whole day, which granted was like 2 and a bit hours of constant walking, and I feel great. My feet don't hurt, and I really enjoyed how much I could actually feel the ground. So that was cool. Day 1 went good. It's day 3 of wearing these barefoot shoes. I said screw it and I went 0 to 100 like I always do, and I wore my shoes to work. That involves about 6.5 k's of walking. In fact, here's the information from that day. And my feet really hurt. In particular, the outsides of my feet and the balls of my feet really hurt. I think from the springy action, like I'm actually having to use the muscles in my feet. Very strange sensation, but all in all, I don't feel that much different than I do after a normal night, and I felt a lot better overall. Like I don't feel as tired. What really surprised me about the first couple days wearing barefoot shoes was just how much my feet actually hurt. I was finding pain that I had never experienced before on the outside of my foot, around my pinky toe, on the balls of my feet, all up in my calves, on my thighs and my legs, my whole body. It completely changed the physiology of how I used my body when I walked. It's next morning. I'm still wearing the barefoot shoes. I feel okay. My feet hurt a little bit today. I feel it on the outside of I think I said this last night. I feel it on the outside of my feet and the base of my feet. Like my feet have to work more, like I'm actually using the muscles, but I'm doing it again today. I'm wearing them all day and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of the month. So I don't know if that's going to suck or if that's going to, I don't know, we'll see. And the first couple days really hurt. I was having to massage my feet every single night when I got home because I was just in so much pain. And then all of a sudden, it was gone. We're 2 weeks into wearing these barefoot shoes, and I'm finally at a point now where my feet don't hurt anymore. I'm just able to walk in them naturally without needing to think about it too much. For a while there, I was getting a little worried because my feet were really hurting, and I was really feeling it in my calves and in like the outsides of my feet, like where your pinky toe sits. But now after 2 weeks, I feel like my feet have adapted to them properly, and now it just feels like I'm wearing shoes all the time. It feels like I have padding. Interested to see what happens over the next couple of weeks, and if that gets stronger, if my feet start to spread apart. It was like my body had finally adapted to this new change, and it felt amazing. And suddenly, I was enjoying all the benefits that these shoes gave me. I could feel the ground through my shoes. I could feel every rock, twig, leaf, and branch that I was stepping on. One of the main reasons that I started looking into barefoot shoes in the first place was because I was starting to experience some pretty severe knee problems and I wasn't able to run anymore. My knee though is sore. I don't know what to do. I don't want to give myself a permanent injury, but also hence why there's not that much. Oh, ow. Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And I saw so many stories online of people trying barefoot shoes and having it fix their back problems, their knee problems, their feet problems, all these different things. And I thought, I might as well give it a go. I've been back to running again for the first time in a month. And I've been doing it in my barefoot shoes. And I gotta say, it feels really nice. Now that I've like built up my strength in my feet and in my legs with barefoot shoes just walking over the past month. Now that I'm back to running, it's like the step isn't as big. I can feel that I'm using my calves a lot more. Now my stride is way different, but it feels way better on my knee. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. So that's a massive win for me right now. Just finished my first run in my barefoot shoes, and I noticed something really interesting that I want to show you quickly. So when I used to run in normal shoes, I ran like this, heel first and then down. But now because I don't have the extra padding of my shoes, I'm going like this. Like I'm using the full range of motion of my foot to go like wha instead of wha. And that feels a lot better on my knees. My knees don't hurt anymore, so that's good. I'm very happy to say now that 2 months later, my knee problems are totally gone and I'm back to running, not at the same distance that I was doing before, but comfortably and without pain in my body. Something really interesting that I've noticed in these barefoot shoes is that my pace is faster on the whole. Normally, I've come back after a month and I'm running very comfortably 5:30, 5:45 pace, whereas before I was running like 6-minute pace. Granted, I'm doing shorter distances, but it's just like, it's like the stride that I'm doing changes the way that my body is moving. Like I feel springier, which means that I naturally am moving faster. I don't know if that makes sense. That might sound stupid. So 2 months later, will I ever go back to regular shoes? Probably not. I'm not a medical professional, obviously, so I can't say with complete certainty that changing to barefoot shoes did fix my knee problems. What I can say is that barefoot shoes have made me feel significantly more connected with my body and have made me feel better about my stride and the way that I move and interact with the world. So for me, I'm gonna stick with barefoot shoes. They have become a really integral part of my life. I can't imagine myself going back to regular shoes outside of very, very specific circumstances. What I will say is that I feel like I did the transition too quickly. If you're wanting to get into barefoot shoes, I would say it's probably smarter to not dive straight in like I did. Start just wearing it for 30 minutes, an hour a day, and build that up week by week. I feel like that will minimize that pain over the first couple days and maybe minimize the risk for potential injury as well. That would be my only advice, because I feel like I did it a little bit dumb, but it ended up working out okay. All in all, I think wearing barefoot shoes is a really great exercise in learning to listen to your body, something that I've been very focused on in the past couple months. So let me know your experience with barefoot shoes. I'd love to hear other people's stories and how they've gone about making that adjustment period. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you want to support me as an independent creator, you can check out my Patreon at the top of the description.